This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 1856, Previews. Welcome to Comic Geek Speak. I'm Ian Levinstein.
I'm Chris Everly.
Excellent. Just finished watching Metal Awards on Netflix, so I figured we needed a nice old-fashioned rock and roll version of the theme tonight.
Well, I'm honored to be in the co-captain's chair with you today, sir.
By all means, yep, same here. Welcome one and all to the show. It is a two-man crew for previews this month, as Murd is manning the store and Shane is otherwise occupied. And we want to get this sucker out with enough time to spare for you folks to order your comics. So here we are. It's previews time yet again here in CGSville. And looking forward to it.
And I'm with me now, free from the burden of a school year. Levinstein, I'm at your disposal.
Free from the shackles of the education system. Martha's still got another 10 days until she's
10 days.
Yeah,
wow.
27th is the last day for kids here in New York, and then staff has to be on there for 2 more. Technically, she's supposed to work the 30th, but she took that off so she can go on vacation. So that's how that's working for her. But yeah, New York likes to make things last as much as humanly possible at times. Well, this episode of the show is, of course, brought to you by you, the listeners, over at patreon.com. Over at patreon.com/comicgeekspeak. We thank you so much for your continued support of the show every single week and every single month. As you guys help this show happen. Without your support, we would not be able to continue producing this show. And right now we are at a solid 115 patrons at $327 per month. And let me see if we got any new patrons to point out here. Nobody off the top of my head, but you know what? Just thank you guys so much for all that continued support.
Yes, sir, indeed.
Every single way. You guys are the best. And thank you so much for that. If you would like to make a old school donation to the show, you can still do so over at comicgeekspeak.com/donate.php. That's the PayPal way of doing it, or just support the show via mouth or via reviews on iTunes or any other platform. And if you want to support me for that matter, patreon.com/comic timing. I haven't mentioned it on the show in a while, but I've added the link in there. That's my own personal Patreon. Be having some comic timing episodes probably in the next couple of weeks. I've actually got some time on my hands to put some out, so we'll see how that all turns out.
And there's a man out there who's worthy of your patronage, ladies and gentlemen. Levinstein lives.
Thank you much.
A man of character, of heart, a man who makes this show possible from the producer's chair. So damn it, send him the vehicles, please.
Thank you much. We got the touch, we got the power. Amen to that. Also of note, as you listen to this episode, the next day, around the time that this is released, actually, there will be an episode on the Just Another Fanboy feed that I guest hosted. As Steven with 2 E's is on vacation this month. Previously this month, you saw an episode by the one and only Peter the Rios as he went through his Peter Rios comic book universe. And my episode goes back to my nerd roots and how I first became a fanboy. And that is, of course, the world of Sliders, and specifically Sliders comic books are touched on this episode. So if you want to learn more about that, head to justanotherfanboy.com. And on that note, how about some previews?
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh.
Yes. A very love-inspired front cover this month for issue 405 of the previews catalog. Love Everlasting. I love you, Joan, and I always will.
But look at the writer. Look at the writer.
Yes. Mr. King, baby. We'll get there. in short order. But yeah, he's stretching his legs out. It's not just DC, and we'll certainly have plenty to talk about when we do get to that particular listing. As usual, we will start ourselves off with Image once we get there, and of course, that starts off right about here. Here we are with The Last Shadowhawk. Let's go.
I never read a Shadowhawk story in my life, so I can't comment on this.
It's the 30th anniversary special one-shot of Shadowhawk. I've never either. I just got to mention it because you can't get more old school Image than Shadowhawk, baby. And they're going that in spades here. Philip Tan and Brian Haberlin on the writing shores. Philip Tan and Daniel Henriquez on the art duties as we celebrate the 30th.
That's a 90s costume design, all right.
You better believe it. It's like if Hawkman and Metal Man like had a baby. Like that's like
with a little bit of Wolverine thrown in there too.
With a little bit of Wolverine, exactly. Yeah, with the side ears and definitely the claws going on there. But no, it's not copyright infringement. There's at least 4 of them, not 3. So that's the difference you see. But yeah, this is just old school 90s action on page 32. If you want to reminisce on days gone by 30 years ago, this is a good way to do it over at Image. And then once we get past that, here we are with the gem of the month on page 36 as Tom King heads over to Image with Love Everlasting.
And look at the bedfellows they give him in the tradition of Sandman and Saga. That is big shoes right there. Holy mackerel. Yeah. They're not pulling any punches.
You ain't kidding. Yeah, it's
Joan Peterson discovers that she is trapped in an endless, terrifying cycle of, quote, romance, end quote. A problem to be solved, a man to marry, and every time she falls in love, she's torn from her world and thrust into another teary saga. Her bloody journey to freedom and revelation starts this breathtaking, groundbreaking first issue.
Wow.
So, a deconstruction of romance comics.
Yeah,
wow.
As they put it on the bottom there, a metafiction reminiscent of Groundhog Day and Being John Malkovich. Yeah, I'm in.
Of course, I'm in. Tom King, come on.
Have you ever seen the movie Final Girls?
No.
Okay, Final Girls, sort of a similar premise. It's a bunch of teens who get stuck in a horror movie. And they have it's their mission to be the final girls, as in they have to be the ones not killed by the,
right.
By the serial killer.
There can only be one final girl, though, I assume.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. And they're doing the best to have it not be one, have it to be as many people as humanly possible. But yeah, this sounds awesome. I'm a huge fan of Groundhog Day-esque action, and look at the artwork on this.
Oh, it's he's everything I ever wanted. And everything I can never have.
Yeah.
Wow, I got the dialogue down right.
Perfect.
Wait, I'm sorry, Ian. Go back to the caption at the top.
Yeah, sure.
Please. I knew it was wrong. He was my boss and my best friend, Steady. Still, every time I looked over at George, I couldn't stop myself from thinking he and I were meant to be. Wow. Okay. Cool. Someone did their homework. All right.
Yes. I'll also make note, as we are talking about artists, and we will discuss this more in our next comic talk. Let me get my drink, actually. Here we are. Yeah. This one goes out to Tim Sale. As
yes,
we're short another legend, and this artwork kind of reminds me of him a bit, honestly, with its simplicity and the general staging of it all. But yeah, it's great stuff. I'm totally in on this.
Oh, look at that design! Wow.
Oh yeah, great.
All right, we'll be sure to talk about that once it premieres.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. Yep. And we move over to Declan Shelby's Old Dog #1. Cover by Marcos Martin and drawn also by Declan Shelby. So yeah, writing and art chores by one of the best in the business right here. New Spy-Fi series. I like that turn of phrase there. The accomplished and innovative creator behind Moon Knight, X-Men Unlimited, Injection, and Time Before Time brings us a story of Jack Lynch, once promising CIA operative, On the eve of retirement, looking back at a failed career, he's tasked with one final mission that goes horribly wrong. Old dog and
It's enough.
Yep.
By the way, this reminded me, you haven't caught the new Jeff Bridges series, The Old Man, have you?
Not yet, but it's on the list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Because in that story, he is an old CIA agent who's gone underground, then he has to resurface. And
yeah,
the first episode is tremendous.
I'm definitely giving it a watch. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I highly recommend it to everyone listening.
I try to watch.
Especially if you love espionage.
I try to watch everything Jeff Bridges because like everything he touches,
he's a national treasure.
Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely give that a watch. But yeah, this is on page 40 here. Old Dog by the one and only Declan Shelby, and each cover is amazing in their own way for this.
Yes,
one.
it is. Yes, they are. Yep.
You choose, and the artwork so clean, so polished, so refined, and yet so stylized. It beautiful, great stuff.
You know, you'd be like a great, you're like the comic book equivalent of like a sommelier. Like you would be wonderful.
This one has a good finish to it. Very good. Also shades of, especially on this page, on page 42, shades of almost Frank Miller in the staging.
Yeah. Yep.
Great stuff.
Coat flapping in the wind. Yep.
20th Century Men by Denise Camp. At the end of the 20th century, superheroes, geniuses, madmen, and activists rushed towards World War III, and a Soviet iron hero, a superpowered American president, an insane cyborg soldier, an Afghan woman hell-bent on building a better life for her people, these strange yet familiar beings collide in a story that mixes history, politics, and comic book mythology.
3 of my favorite topics.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful description there. Yeah. I'm totally in on this one. I honestly thought for a second that this might be an American retelling of like 20th Century Boys, but no, this is its own thing. This is 20th Century Men right here on page 44. And man, the artwork on the next few pages.
Yeah, artwork is very impressive.
Oof. So detailed.
I'll probably give at least the first issue a try there.
Whole lot of number ones out of Image this month. The Dead Lucky, from debut writer Melissa Flores and French Cardomagno and Mattia Iancono. Deadly Class meets Radiant Black is the way it's described, and I'm sure they have you at meets Radiant Black on this one. Yep. Looks like it's another good first issue there on page 46. If you're into superhero action. Vibrant colors on the art.
Yep.
Yep. All right, let's head over to Golden Rage. 5-issue miniseries on page 50. Chrissy Williams and Lauren Knight bring you this world where older women who've been deemed useless to society are abandoned on an island.
Wow.
Yeah.
Battle Royale meets the Golden Girls. Dash of Agatha Christie and Logan's Run. I'm all the way in. Says Kelly Subiconic.
I'm all the way in with that description right there. I can only imagine the havoc that Blanche would bring on. Yeah, no, this sounds really cool. Page 50, and then the following pages give you some of the artwork there too. Man, Image gets the best colorists. They really do. Every single book just pops off the page. Good stuff. All right. What else we got in Image? Hardcover edition of a book that I'm looking forward to reading all the way through.
I've never read this.
This is basically Dungeons and Dragons and meets basically Dungeons and Dragons come to life.
I see that. Yeah.
In the 90s, 6 teenagers disappeared, and only 5 returned. Nearly 30 years later, these broken adults are dragged back to discover the game isn't finished with them yet. Karen Gillan did a great job on this series. I read the first 5, and I need to read more. This is terrific, and I'm glad that this has all 20 issues here to work with on page 55. Die hardcover. Going for $60, but I'm sure you can get that at a mighty discount from wherever you decide to get it from. Oh, this is almost my name, so I'll bring it out. Page 57, Mr. Lovenstein presents Failure. Writer-artist J.L. Westover. For fans of Strange Planet, Adulthood is a Myth, a Sarah Scribbles collection, and Dinosaur Therapy. That sounds like word salad to me for some reason, but I know that those are actual books. This is a webcomic that a superstar who offers up painfully hilarious observations and cringeworthy situations, uniting us all through one of life's most relatable experiences: failure.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Here's one of the best titles that's out right now, Newbern.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep.
So I've talked about this before. So again, this is Zdarsky, and the artist is Jacob Phillips, the son of Sean Phillips. So quite a pedigree there. And he's also very talented. And basically Newbern is a former policeman who now acts as like an investigator and sort of like an arbiter for the various organized crime families in the city.
Nice.
So when there's some kind of issue between some of them and they need something investigated, they bring in sort of like this neutral figure to carry out the work. It is superb. It's a great concept. And he takes on like an apprentice, so to speak, a lot of the stories through her eyes. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, and this collects the first 8 issues, not even just the first 6.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, and only $17 for 8 issues of comics right there.
Yeah, if you're looking for a new title and you like, noir type stories, police procedurals, definitely give this a shot.
Yep. And Zdarsky proving he can do just about anything in comics.
Yep.
Yep. Rogue Sun, first 6 issues of that, collected on the very next page, page 59, if you've been waiting for that. Ryan Parrott on the writing as well here. And it's a supernatural murder mystery that explores the complicated bond between father and son and cements itself squarely in the corner of the massive verse. So there we are. Eric Kripke gave it a very good review on the cover blurb there, and you know him from the Boys TV show, and he's also the creator of Supernatural. Page 59 once again for that. And I think I'll leave us off here with Step by Bloody Step, Cy Spurrier, first 4 issues of his Step by Bloody Step series here. It's a fantasy opus that breaks new ground for the possibilities of sequential art, as it's a completely wordless visual feast that will delight fans of Princess Mononoke, Isola, and the visionary works of Mobius.
That's august company right there.
Damn, yeah. Yep. Page 60 for that one. Step by Bloody Step. And of course, more Astro City and Aerosmith.
And Aerosmith. I got the first Metro book. I'll be getting the second. I want to collect the entire series, Astro City, because I stopped at some point in these Metro books. So I'm really pleased to see that.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, the Metro books do a great job of collecting so much right there on page 61. Yep. Radiant Black Volume 3, collected on page 63. So that's issues 13 through 18. Advanced solicit on that one, if you're waiting for it. And still no Saga. So we are waiting for more of that, I believe. It's further down here in the book, and I didn't see it, but I think we're sagaless again this month. But probably not.
So it's always worth the wait. Always worth the wait.
Also, speaking of Radiant Black, end of its next story arc is on page 78, issue 18 of that one. Yep, no Saga. Oh well.
All right.
Always have to point that out on this show.
I appreciate that.
No worries. All right, let's head over to Boom.
Yes. I'm by your side, sir.
Okay. Start off with a original graphic novel. Always like to see those. Roberto Saviano with I'm Still Alive. It's when world-renowned Italian journalist Roberto Saviano put pen to paper at age 26, he changed laws expose widespread corruption, put his own life at risk, and save countless others. This groundbreaking international bestseller and notable book of the year exposed the inner workings of the Italian mafia and placed Saviano under direct threat, which necessitated 24-hour police protection. And this is essentially the graphic novel adaptation of that very book, I'm Still Alive. Damn.
And he's talking about just his thoughts and observations of what he's been through.
Indeed. Yep.
That's a tremendous cover.
Absolutely. And this is out of Archaea, out of Boom, on page 90, and then we have some follow-up artwork on the very next page. And man, the artwork is great. It's utilizing very few colors to get the point across, and doing such a good job of it. Man, oh man. Whew. I love minimalist color work. Gets so much across when it's done right.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Page 92 has Wind, the Throne in the Sky by James Tynion IV. Start of a thrilling journey that's perfect for new readers. So if you have not checked out the Wind Saga, WYND, this will continue it here with a new 5-issue miniseries out of Boom on page 92. Then volume 5 of Something Killing the Children on page 97.
Was it you or Murder recommended this book? I'm sorry.
Murder has recommended it, and
okay.
I've looked into a little bit of it as well, and I need to check it out. It's a chilling book, really is. Yeah, that's another writer out there. James Tynion IV can basically do anything, and this is further proof of that. Every single genre, great stuff.
When Adam gives the seal of approval, there's no hesitation.
Oh, absolutely.
It automatically demands my attention.
Yep.
The Death Ranger.
Page 98. The Power Rangers comics continue to be way better than they should be. Power Rangers Unlimited, The Death Ranger, Paul Aller and Catherine Lobo bring a new issue of the series as we charge to issue apparently to 100. Charge to 100, it says here, and I believe we are getting to issue 100 of Power Ranger comics with Boom. That says how long that's been around now. That's the Omega.
Are they taking into account numbering from other publishers, or? That's
a good question. Yeah. I mean, honestly, they've been doing a lot over at Boom, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Like everything, combines into one. But this is, Power Ranger, they do Mighty Morphin and they do Power Rangers. And those are all at 22. So yeah, who knows? Either that or it's a really cool slogan, which is also possible. And then the deluxe edition of Go-Go Power Rangers, which creates an entirely original story. Go-Go Power Rangers 1 through 16 and Back to School. It's kind of like what they did with the Buffyverse. It's a restart for the Power Rangers on page 103 from the ground floor up. So if you want to check that out, they got it there for you.
Firefly.
Whew. 20 years.
20 years.
Wow.
Man.
Page 104 gives you that. Jorge Corona and Josh Gordon.
I can throw on the Serenity movie at any time and enjoy it thoroughly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Absolutely. Okay. See if there's anything else in Boom that catches my eye. I think that's about it. So we'll head into Dark Horse.
Now, interesting how Dark Horse has some Star Wars here.
Indeed, for the first time in quite a while. Star Wars Tales from the Rancor Pit. It's a hardcover.
Oh, Myrtle loved this. He loves
Jabba's
palace and all that.
Mm-hmm. Dark and stormy night on Tatooine as Jabba the Hutt's victims hang perilous above the Rancor Pit with only his collection of scary stories to save him. It's kind of Are You Afraid of the Dark meets Star Wars. Page 120 for that one. It's Kevin Scott and Nick Brokenshire. And again, welcome back to the Dark Horse publication universe, Star Wars. Gotta bring up what's on the very next page.
Oh yeah,
121. Patton Oswalt has a brand new series, 4-issue miniseries, Minor Threats, from Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom. It's hard out there for a supervillain, not the world conquerors, chaos engineers, and arch nemesis, but the little guys. This immediately screams Harley Quinn animated series to me, and in a very good way. I like what I see, and I think that this will look great as a trade paperback on my shelf when it's all said and done.
Patton Oswalt, I have a lot of confidence in it.
Yep, he was great on the MODOK show too. It's a shame it didn't get picked up. Man, look how detailed that world is they're creating here on the next few pages. Wow, excellent. No slouch either. James Asmus, Survival Street. It's a unrepentant action satire tearing through a.
Are those Muppets?
They certainly look that way. Packed with economic and humanistic cautionary tales. Yeah, these are Muppets and people living together from the looks of it. Hey, if anyone's gonna do it, it should be James Asmus. He certainly knows how to write. 124. This one might be for Murd. We shall see. And then Mignola, as not a month goes by without a Mignola comic out of Dark Horse, and Frankenstein returns here with Frankenstein New World.
Beautiful artwork.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely. Artwork by Peter Bergting and Michelle Madsen did the cover there. New book in the Frankenstein universe of Mike Mignola on page 125. I think that's kind of all that I have in Dark Horse, but I'll scroll a little bit further here, see if anything else. Colin Bunn's got a new series, new miniseries, Parasomnia, The Dreaming God. This is a new one.
Andrea Moody.
Indeed. Yep.
Great artist. Oh.
Bunn and Moody together is an excellent team, and this is another miniseries in their Parasomnia stories on page 130 to point out. All right. Volume 1 of Cover. Another team up between Bendis and David Mack. First 6 issues collected here on page 130.
I totally missed this. I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah, no, this is brand new espionage epic with Bendis and Mack. So get yourself.
So 6 issues have been out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Indeed. Got a whole volume there for you.
Oh.
All right. Ooh, Avatar comics for anybody who wants Avatar comics.
Maybe in the minority. I did not care for that movie.
You're not. At least not on this show when there's 2 of us.
Okay. All right.
Dances with Fern Gully was visually it was visually stunning, but not a very original story, and
no.
I very underwritten when it came to the military as well. So yeah, not my favorite. We'll point out as well on page 140, issue 4 of Jenny 02. So look for a collection of that from the one and only Dave Dwanch to come on page 140. Supporting the Dwanch. All right, you want to head over to DC?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's do so. Okay.
Jeez Louise. Does Tom King sleep?
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. And this first issue here on page 2, Tom King and Mitch Gerads. I will say it again.
Please say it again.
And Mitch Gerads. Enough said. I didn't even have to know what it's about.
But look at what they're doing here.
Yeah.
They're doing 64-page prestige format specials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're not all okay. They're not doing all of them. They're going to have different people working on them. I apologize.
Yeah. But
yeah.
this is Batman One Bad Day, the Riddler.
Yeah.
And you get Tom King on the Riddler. Sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you need. Absolutely all you need. And
well, it's the team from Mr. Miracle and Strange Adventures. Come on.
Absolutely.
And Sheriff of Babylon. So
64.
Say no more.
Mind you, this day and age to get 64 pages for $8, that's not bad.
No, it is not.
That is not bad. You know, a couple other publishers, I'm sure, would charge 12 for it, but getting off easy this time around with some of the most beautiful artwork you could possibly find on a page.
Oh my God! Look at that! Look at the rain effect. Oh,
so good!
Wow,
so freaking good! Amazing. Yep. And then talk about good artists taking on Batman.
Yeah.
Page 4 here, written and drawn by Lee Bermejo. Batman Dear Detective #1. What happens when a comics art powerhouse meets one of the greatest, most exciting heroes of all time?
Ian, you remind me of a comment you made recently in one of our previous episodes, in that DC's doing a lot of engaging stuff these days.
They are, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, really.
They absolutely are, and I think they came to terms with themselves, if that makes any sense. Like they were trying to find where their next direction was throughout that whole New 52 stuff, and then eventually they turned a corner and just went back to making good comics and not worrying nearly as much as like incredibly tight continuity and just
that's long gone. I mean, just give us good stories with the icons, these iconic characters.
Yeah.
So.
I don't even have to be, it doesn't even have to be in the main, it could be a side story that doesn't have to even technically be in the main universe. Just tell a good story. And that's what we're getting so much of these days. And this is a one-of-a-kind edition, which collects some of Lee Bermejo's most jaw-dropping Batman covers woven together to tell a story that strikes right at the heart of Dark Knight's never-ending crusade. That's awesome. That is a super cool concept, and I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. Page 4 for that one. And then over to Detective Comics on page 6, as Ram V and Raphael Albuquerque continue their run, all while at the same time we get Flashpoint Beyond issue 4 and the next page, Jeff Johns and Mitch Gerads on the cover there, artwork by Zermanico. Oof, man. But
the return of Sword of Azrael.
I cannot not mention this on a show, or else my co-host of Comic Timing, Brent Casino, would find me and he'd slap me. Sword of Azrael #1, as you said, Dan Waters on the writing, art and cover by Nicola Messiha. I'm gonna guess. Mert's not here.
The quarter in the jar.
Exactly. Page 8 for this one, as we return to the world of Azrael and Saint Dumas, as John Paul Valley is behind the suit again, and further Azrael action. Okay, yeah, I'm down to see what's going to happen here. When done right, Azrael can be incredibly compelling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And Deceased continues its final run here of this particular creative team and this take on it, as Tom Taylor continues his Deceased epic. It's another one I'm going to have to go back and read all of at some point.
Dark Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it once we get issue 1.
But of course, Dark Crisis #3, shown here on issue 12. The Battle of the Emerald Army has begun. Man. Seeing Hal Jordan create all the Justice Leaguers with his ring there, that's something else. And Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Art and cover by Fernando Blanco on page 13 there. It's on one of the side stories there within the Dark Crisis. And a Dark Crisis tie-in with just about every Flash you can fit into a Flash page 14 there. It's Jeremy Adams. That's all I need. Right now, he can do no wrong with the Flash in my eye. Ah ha ha.
What the heck is this?
Issue, yeah.
Oh, but Art and Franco, that's enough.
Yes. Art and
All right.
Franco are involved with this, as are Andrew Aiden, Dan Waters, Becky Cloonan, tons of wonderful creators included here. DC Saved by the Belle Reeve, #1. This is going to be like Bizarro special level action here. I am.
That was
so
a great
happy.
special.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what they're going for here. It's 80 pages again. This one's $10, but it's prestige format, and a new school year starts at Gotham Academy. So grab your pencils and notebooks and get educated.
And Baltazar and Franco returning to Tiny Titans.
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
It has been quite a while. Get a facsimile.
I love facsimile editions.
Yes. Page 17 gives us facsimile editions of both Detective Comics 27 and The Sandman #1. Man, oh man. We're getting closer to that Sandman Netflix series coming out too.
That's August, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Stay tuned for a field report.
You better believe it. Whole bunch of.
I guess it's the Harley Quinn's birthday, huh?
I guess
Jeez
so.
Louise.
But let's just focus on page 20. Harley Quinn, the animated series, The Real Sidekicks of New Gotham, special #1. What happens when writers from Harley Quinn, the TV show, and Harley Quinn, the animated series, the Eat, Bang, Kill tour, the comic, get together and swap stories from New Gotham? Absolute mayhem. That's what. T. Franklin, Alexis Corsano, Connor Shin, and a bunch of others. Art by Max Sarin and a whole bunch of others as well. They're on page 20. That's going to be insanity, and I'm looking forward to it.
Great cover to the Flash annual.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Jeremy Adams and Sergio Acuna do the Flash 2022 annual. They don't just number the annuals anymore, and they haven't for years now. It's usually the year to distinguish it. But this sort of puts a capper on the relationship and the run that Wally and Linda have been having of late, and they got some quiet time as they research their upcoming book.
Every couple needs it.
Amen. Sergio Acuna on the artwork for that. Olympus Rebirth.
Becky Cloonan. Oh, fantastic.
Yep. And Caitlin Yarsky on the artwork.
This might be in Murd's wheelhouse again.
You are very, very right about that.
DC's take on the Greek gods.
Yep. Page 22. After years of bitter and violent conflict, the Greek pantheon of gods stands united to welcome their latest goddess, Hippolyta of Themyscira. Ooh. Also talk about something that may very well be for Murray.
Evan Doc Shaner. Oh,
yes. And written by Josie Campbell, the new champion of Shazam, as Mary Marvel steps into the shoes here to fill the shoes of Billy for now. Apparently he had a heroic sacrifice. I'll have to get there, but page 20.
Look at that variant cover by Josh Middleton.
Oh, so nice.
It's like reminds of like Macro Boy Golden Age art. That is beautiful. Holy mackerel.
Absolutely. Oof. Yeah. I will 100% check this out because I want to see what they're going to do with Mary in the lead role. I'm sure that there'll be at least a little bit of a sour note from Murd there because I know that they haven't been doing his boy Billy, well of late, but it's nice to see Mary get the stage for at least a little while here.
All right, look at the next page. Look at the next page.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Not only do you get a new one, Tales of the Human Target #1, but you get book 1 of the Human Target as well, solicited on page 24.
Immediate order. Immediately.
Yep.
Oh, so this is Tom King doing. Kevin McGuire's one of the artists on the Tales of the Human Target.
Oh, that's even better.
Shane's gonna love that.
Yep. Considering JLI plays such an important part in it all. Yeah.
Yep. So these are stories that take place before the events of the current already classic miniseries. Chan teams with fan favorite members of the JLI. Oh wow! All right, can't wait to read that.
Yep. Yeah, I'll catch myself up and read some Human Target. I think the first 2 or 3 issues are on DC Ultimate at this point, so I'll have to check that out.
Levinstein, you have an assignment.
There we go. Dark Knights of Steel, Volume 1 collected here. I heard very good things about this, and it's Tom.
It's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Whole Knights of the Round Table bent on the DC universe on page 25.
Oh, Black Adam.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God, that JSA series is so good. Oh,
it's excellent, and this was one of my favorite arcs of the whole thing on page 26. Yep. Black Adam JSA New Reign. New edition here collects issues 56 through 58 of JSA, as well as some Hawkman and JSA Black Reign stuff.
That Hawkman series was superb too. Oh,
it was excellent. Yep. Yeah. Both the stuff that Jeff Johns did and the stuff that Palmiotti did. Palmiotti, great.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Rags Morales artwork on that too. And Black Adam Rise and Fall of an Empire on the very next page, 27, as well as Black Adam The Dark Age. Black Adam The Dark Age.
Is that movie a summer release?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's coming out in August. So this is good timing all around.
Right.
It might even be a little bit later than that, but either way, yeah, this is bound to be, getting people's psyched for it. And it's nice to see some of these stuff back in print because a couple of stuff was hard to find for a while. Let's talk about page 28 here. Green Lantern Alliance. Ming Lee on the writing and Andy Tong on the artwork. It's only been a few months since Green Lantern Tai Pham inherited his ring from his Ba and defeated his nemesis. But Tai knows their last battle was only the beginning, and even though no one believes him, Tai is determined to prove that Xander is up to his old tricks again. So we get a team up between Green Lantern and the Flash here in a very different way on page 28.
Great cover.
Oh, beautiful. Good stuff indeed. And the interior artwork is nothing to slouch at either.
No, it is not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get some John Stewart in there and Yapoozer. Always love a good Kilowog. And for the kids, Diana and Nubia, Princesses of the Amazons. All ages Diana and Nubia book on page 30 for you. Shannon Hale and Dean Hale. Victoria Ying on the artwork too. Great artwork.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Very, very.
Look at those eyes pop out of their heads. Oh, it's one. So I love the cartoon effect.
Exactly, and very so expressive too. I mean, you'd swear
reminds me of Terry Moore a little bit.
Good call.
The way he's drawing those girls there.
Yep, agreed.
The mini pages.
My favorite. No. All right. Let's see what we got though. Zdarsky.
Well, again, what you have right here, Killing Time and The Night, two superb Batman miniseries. I'm reading both of them as they come out. Like I said before, DC's doing great stuff with Batman, and of course, Zdarsky's going to be taking on the flagship title soon. So
indeed, yeah. Did I miss a solicitation for his ongoing, or was that just not solicited this month? Because I swore his takeover. I don't. I mean, they had his first issue on the book last month. I don't see it here though. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Maybe,
unless we missed it.
Yeah, it's possible we either missed it or it's just in a skip. Yeah. But okay. All right. Good to know. Deathstroke Inc. number 12 there. Ed Brissom looks like Ollie's going to.
I read number one of that. I read number one of that issue. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Good. And I got to get back on the Fables train. I'm.
So do I. I never finished the series. I'm ashamed to say.
Same here. I'm woefully behind. I got to catch myself up. Let's see. Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes hits its conclusion on page 37. As Bendis bids farewell to the Legion. and the Justice League for that matter, as he was writing them both for a while. So this is the conclusion of that arc, and Scott Godlewski on the artwork for that as well on page 37. Oh my!
Look at the Nightwing cover. Look at the Nightwing cover.
Every single month, it's just something stunning to.
How is this guy doing it? It's just Bruno Redondo. God.
Bruno
By the
Redondo.
way, Ian, I think it's this week.
Mhm.
The second Nightwing hardcover's coming out. I'll be going to the local shop immediately on Wednesday to pick that up.
Excellent. Happy to hear it.
Yep. I'll have a field report.
I'm sure you shall.
Scooby Doo, where are you?
Oh, it's about a ravenous Sasquatch.
Oh, I love when Scooby has to go after a Sasquatch. I remember when I was a kid, one of the early episodes from the late 60s, I think they fought some kind of snow beast. I remember I had my viewfinder, which had it in sequence.
Nice.
Thrilling.
This is issue 117, as Chris was saying there. Of
117.
Man, that's a.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Shaggy has the rolling pin.
Yeah,
having an adequate defense against the Sasquatch.
Page 39 for that. And speaking of great covers, how about that cover to Superman, Son of Kal-El on the?
Yes, wonderful.
Yep, Travis
Moore cover.
Yep. Yes.
That Wonder Woman cover is a great take on the classic Akitia story. Greg Rucka and was it J.G. Jones?
I believe so. Yeah, with the
which is a classic. That's a great story, Batman Wonder Woman story.
I picked that up not too long ago. They finally.
Oh, really?
They finally reissued it not too long ago.
Was it your first time reading it, or did you not read it yet?
I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's I think I read it back in the day, but it'd be nice to give it a good refresher. Yeah, yep. But that cover is just like classic with Wonder Woman's foot just going right down on Batman's head.
It is indeed.
Yep. All right, let's see what else we got here. Young Justice Targets #2, continuing the new Greg Weisman written animated stories here in comic book form on page 41, and then into the collections. Batman Black and White. Always love to see.
Gosh, it's been 20 years. Oh my God.
Yep. Page 42 for that one. And
Shane would say I'm old.
Yep. We have to mention Batman: The Long Halloween Haunted Night Deluxe Edition for the dearly departed Tim Sale. And
that's terrible. What a loss. God.
Yeah, I still honestly can't even wrap my head around it, just because we've lost weight.
Have they revealed how he passed?
Not as of this time, no.
Okay.
No. I've been keeping an eye on it, but honestly, like it's just such a loss, and I'm so sorry to hear it. Yep. Page 42 for that one, if you want to check out his Batman Long Halloween Haunted Night.
Batman the Silver Age Omnibus.
Yep. Very next page, which is page 43. We get some.
Oh, the Rainbow Batman. Yes.
And what about the Bat Ape?
Bat Ape. You got to have apes in Silver Age comics. Come on.
Oh, absolutely. That's Jamie.
All right. Now I'm really excited. That Jamie D loved apes in comics. He sure did. Yep. Scroll down a little bit, please. I'm so been looking forward to this Blue and Gold coming out in trade, because I missed some of the issues. Mm-hmm. So I only read, I think, 1 through 3, and it was fabulous.
Yep.
So I'm so happy that this is coming out end of the summer. We definitely get it. I know Shane has loved it.
Oh, absolutely. So, yep. Yeah.
Booster and Blue Beetle.
He would not stop raving at it for good reason, and it's Jurgens writing Blue and Gold. Like, how can you beat that?
Yeah, I can't wait to read the whole thing.
Also, for anybody who's never read Blue Beetle before,
I have not read the Blue Beetle in terms of the Jamie Reyes one.
Yeah, well, there it is. Keith Giffen and Don Rogers with art by Cully Hamner, Duncan Rouleau, Raphael Albuquerque, and tons of others. This was an excellent series, and this is how Jaime Reyes really started things out on page 43. And it's well worth reading more about it. And this is 12 issues of Blue Beetle action to catch you up just in time for the movie, which will be coming soon.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing a movie.
Yep, they've already started filming it. There have been some shots of the armor, and it looks perfect, honestly.
So they're doing the costume in the modern sense, not the original.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be the Reyes Blue Beetle. I think they may have other Blue Beetles involved in one way or the other. Like Ted may be there as a mentor, like he was.
Is this movie in like the DC movie universe, or is it its own
Yes.
thing?
It last I heard
It is.
was.
Okay.
In fact, I'm gonna stop
Okay,
sharing
cool.
for seconds just so I can see if I can find the what the a shot of the Blue Beetle armor looked like from the from the set. But yes, this is set for release on August 18th of next year.
Oh,
I think it was originally going to be HBO Max only, and they've since shifted it for release, a wide release. But here's what the costume looks like. I found an image here for you of the star and
thanks, honey.
itself, and it's
Oh, wow.
pitch perfect. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Especially once you put a layer of effects on that and get the lighting right.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely what I wanted it to look like. So
fabulous. All right.
Yep. All right, let's head back to a share of the book. Here we are. Hardware Season 1. Brandon Thomas and Reginald Hudland. Art by Dennis Cohen, Bill Sienkiewicz, and tons more.
Great artists. Yep. Great artists.
Page 44 there for you. And beneath that as well, Justice League Incarnate gets collected. The first 5 issues of that series by Josh Williamson and Dennis Culver. Also on page 44. Oh, wow.
Phantom Stranger Omnibus. Look at that medallion. Ugh.
Yep, page 45 on that one. Collecting a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going back to the 50s with this. Wow.
1,200 page hardcover.
Shame it, like it's too big. I can't read it.
I feel him. I feel him. Yeah. I'd have to sit at a real desk for that one. Like not even like a computer desk. Comfy chair, sit down and relax.
Or you get like a book stand so you can stand up and read it, like,
Now, talk about legends on page 46. The Flash by Mark Waid Omnibus Volume 1. By Mark Waid and the one and only Mike Wieringo. Greg LaRocque and a whole bunch of others involved there. If you have not read Mark Waid's Flash run, get on it.
Well, Ian, I really haven't, so I may have to order this.
Do it, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I've read little bits and pieces. That's it.
I've read the seminal. Obviously, there's issues that I haven't read, but I've read the seminal runs. Like I read the Return of Barry Allen. I read Dead Heat. Like all those like really big, the introductions of Impulse. Like all that I've read, and it's just as good as people want it to be. Like it's terrific. I started collecting it in singles near the end of its run during the Walter West era, where they brought in from Hyper Time. Another version of Wally while Wally was lost in the Speed Force, and this was a Walter West that had lost his Linda and was a lot more darker of a character, but it was an excellent take on the character. Good stuff. The War for Earth 3 on page 47.
Look at this. When we got a tip of the hat to Mr. Perez, the Wonder Woman, his run on Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Well, actually, they relaunched the book. There's a new volume.
Yep. Yeah, and Wonder Woman by George Perez Omnibus, the 2022, right there for you. Yeah, and the Golden Age Omnibus directly next to it has some very old school Wonder Woman stuff on page 47. So if you have not checked out the George Perez stuff, give that a go. Definitely revolutionize the character.
Yep.
All right, back over to the main book. And let's head over to Dynamite.
Bond.
Philip Kennedy Johnson taking on
I'm really excited for this.
Yeah. This should be great.
I've praised before. I think it's Dynamite has had the James Bond license for a while now. They've done a lot of great stuff with the character and like his supporting players, both allies and villains. So I'm really excited to read this, and that's a tremendous cover.
Oh yeah, and Marco Finnegan is on the art chores. Tommy Lee Edwards drew that cover, by the way. So Man alive. Page 152 for some good Bond action. And is it just me, or did they cast John Hamm as?
I was just thinking that.
Not exactly where I would go for my 007, but he does fit the bill look wise.
Yes.
Not much I'll say. The name is Bond, James Bond. Good interior artwork there.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Always love me a good Bond story. Wait, what is this now? James Bond
Himeros. This is Rodney Barnes and Antonio Fuso. This is
it's a series I had not read. Okay, it's being collected. I thought it was an OGN for a second.
Yeah, no, this is just one of the previous ones, all in one shot.
But it's a Francisco Franco Villa cover. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
God.
And Antonio Fuso on the art chores in general, like that's nothing to slouch at either there. And this is 120 pages of action here, 5-issue mini James Bond Himeros, all collected on 161. Yep. Eric Burnham bringing Lady Hell to the spotlight. She's the very first personification of death, or at least she was. What?
So it's the Chaos imprint under Dynamite.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I guess they've was
really... Chaos Evil Ernie? Did they do Evil Ernie the comic?
I believe
that's what they were known for. Okay,
yeah, I believe you're right on that one. 163 here for Lady Hell, and it's Eric Burnham with Zengis Tabalatov or Tazbalatov on the artwork chores. And speaking of Evil Ernie,
there's Evil Ernie. There he is.
Yep, he gets the 30th anniversary facsimile edition, and Evil Ernie Lives by Scott Lobdell, all on page 167. Red Sonja
Fairy Tales. Interesting.
Yeah, good one shot of even a fairy tale giant shouldn't mess with the she devil with a sword. 169 for that one. All right, and I think that's. Oh, of course, Vampirella Year 1, number 2.
We mentioned this last month, the Christopher Priest taking on the first year of Vampirella's life. I'm looking forward to reading that.
Second issue of that on 175. And I think that's that with that for Dynamite for me. So let's see.
Yeah, we mentioned the charm of Garbage Pail Kids versus Mad Balls. We mentioned that last month.
Oh yes.
Whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever they are, indeed. We'll just we'll leave.
Are they Mad Balls? I don't remember the name of them.
Yeah. Not exactly. That's not exactly nostalgia for me necessarily. Sure, it is for somebody, but not really for me. All right, we'll leave it off here, I guess, and let's head over to Marvel. Now, a quick note, where I get this particular previews catalog did point out, Comics pointed out that Marvel's having supply chain issues. So that pushed back the release date of a whole bunch of comics. So these titles are in this catalog, but they're not available to order until Marvel puts them back on the schedule. So
it looks like it's the bulk of their floppies.
I was just gonna say, yeah. So like, there's a bunch of stuff that we may mention on this episode that if you are unable to order it, then I'm sure DCBS will let you know, or wherever else you're getting your comics from, whether it is Comics or elsewhere. They'll let you know if it's not available. But yeah, we're just gonna run through the catalog as is. But again, if you run into supply chain issues, that's par for the course these days, unfortunately. So. All right, let's start things off past the middle of a
go past this.
Let's head to X-Men number 14 with the Was Cyclops Right? Even if this is an Axe tie-in, Cyclops always has to worry about whether he's right or not. Happens.
Well, the burden of leadership.
I know, yeah, but look at that, like with the hood covering him and everything. Jerry Duggan and C.F. Villa have a very important task upon them to find out, are any of the X-Men right? Which with what's been going on there. I mean, colonizing a planet and going off on their own there. It's There's a lot going on in the X universe.
Yes.
Now let's
that
talk
cover.
about
Look
issue
at that cover.
10 of Amazing Spider-Man. It's time.
He's wearing the ill-fated outfit.
Oh, I know. It's time for Spider-Man to be judged. And I think we all know which moment in Spidey's history is going to weigh heavily on the proceedings.
Yes.
Gee. Wonder why she's a ghost. Oh, I think I know. Ah, snap.
I'm looking forward to reading. Look at you going, oh, well done, Levinstein.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Let's also point out that Dan Slott's run on the Fantastic Four has ended. This is David Paposi stepping in for now, but issue 46, from what I am aware, was Dan Slott's last issue on the comic. So he's going to move on to something new now. We don't know what it is yet, but I believe it is still going to be Marvel. So pay attention to that. But for now, it's David Paposi and Juan Cabal giving us a tie-in that's heavy on the taking of Baxter 1, 2, 3, 4 begins now. So if it's anything to do with a Pelham 1, 2, 3 style with the Fantastic Four, that sounds awesome.
Good 70s movie. Good 70s movie.
The remake was pretty good too with Denzel.
Yes, the remake was pretty good.
Yep.
I forgot. What does AXE stand for again?
That would be Avengers, X-Men, Eternals.
I should have known. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mark Russell stepping in to write an issue of Avengers as well, in Jason Aaron's stead here for AXE, with Greg Land on the artwork of an Avengers book. Okie dokie. Moving on. That was page 11.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, he's got his fans.
That was so cheerfully passive aggressive. Okay. Now, on to something that I'm really excited about.
You better believe it.
Look at this. Amazing Fantasy issue 1000. So I guess we're to assume that if Amazing Fantasy had kept running, it would now have hit issue 1000.
I believe that is the case.
Yep.
And
look at that roll call of greatness for the creative team on this.
Neil Gaiman starting us off. Armando Iannucci, Jonathan Hickman, Dan Slott, Ho Chi Anderson, Kurt Busiek, Anthony Falcone, Rainbow Rowell, and more. And then
look at the artists.
The artwork,
Jeez.
Jim frickin' Chung,
Yep.
Olivia Coipel, Michael Cho, Goran Parlov, tons more.
Awesome.
Every single cover that they put out with this looks amazing.
Go back to the covers for a second. I'm sorry. Go back to the the Steve McNiven cover. That's fabulous.
Oh my God. Yeah. Using a completely different style of artwork than you normally find from McNiven.
Yep.
And it works wonders on it. Page 14 has the main solicit, and then you have a few more covers to go. But this is the main cover by Ramita. And oh man, this is going to be so much fun.
Yep.
Edge of the Spider-Verse, as Dan Slott returns to the Spider-Verse, as the end of the Spider-Verse is coming. Alex Segura and Carla Pacheco also included on here, as we get the leading edge of the Spider-Verse brought to you by Spider-Gwen and Penny Parker on page 17. And you got a Spider-Man Noir and Devil Dinosaur in the background there. Or at least it certainly looks like Devil Dinosaur.
Yes. Love me some 70s Kirby.
You better believe it. Oh, man. Look at that great cover there for issue 3.
Whew. More important, though, is the next solicit, though.
Yes.
As About Time.
Oh, man. Wow. Giant sign.
It's about time.
Now, how about these creators?
We talked about the pre-pandemic.
Yes.
The first couple issues that come out, they were great.
Yes.
We raved about it on the show, but then, as they say here, it was never finished.
Yes.
I can't wait to read this.
Yeah. This represents issues 1 through 3 of the limited series, so that we can get back on track, basically, as Christos Gage and Todd Knock. Yeah. Hopefully they will.
It's finally getting an ending, it says.
Yeah, I hope so. I sincerely hope so.
If you're not familiar to the listeners, so this is a story about Gwen Stacy in high school before she meets Peter. So, it's in the Silver Age, so to speak, but she's friends with Harry. It's just about her sort of adventures in high school. Again, if you want your Gwen Stacy like more fleshed out, because sometimes people will complain about that.
Yeah.
This is a story that does this and does that in spades.
Absolutely.
It's excellent.
Yep. And it's Todd Knock artwork. Enough said. Page 20 on that one. And how about the next page?
Damage control.
Now, what a freaking team we have for us here. Adam F. Goldberg, Hans Rodenoff, and Charlotte Fullerton are the writers. Will Robson and Jay Foskett are the artists. But
Pacheco cover.
What is up with this team? Moon Knight, Nightcrawler, She-Hulk, and more in a damage control series. Okay. from the creator of the Goldbergs. This is just weird enough to get me. Page 21 for the full solicit. But yeah, this looks like it could be just in the wheelhouse of like maybe even that new Defender series that we've been getting. Like it looks like just some good superhero action here. Yep. Okay, moving forward. That great cover there for Zdarsky's Daredevil #3. Yep. Man. Cover by Marco Cicchetto on page 24.
Fabulous.
Yep. X-Men.
Just to remind people again, most of these books are not going to be available for order yet.
That is true. Thank you. I think we should remind each other of that like every page. We're talking about Marvel books. These Marvel books are not going to be published. X-Men Legends and Nascenti, Javier Pina. So continuing that and Nascenti arc on the X-Men Legends book, and Mojo and Longshot with some Shadowcat thrown in there for good measure. X-Men.
Oh, there's your X-Men 92, honey.
Yep. The conclusion, the final destiny of XC2. What? It all ends here. Hopefully just in time for the animated series, which is coming soon.
Excellent.
Yep. X-Men and Moon Girl, #1. Page 30. You want to find the cutest book on the stands? I believe this is going to be Mahal Mashingo on the writing and David Cutler on the artwork there. To the moon and beyond. I kind of weirdly love this Green Goblin Spider-Man costume. I don't know why. It may be the fact that it's 90s and it's flourishes. Like it kind of reminds me of like the jacket era, but
By the way, I wanted to mention to you, and we'll go into more detail next comic talk. I read Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah.
I haven't been this excited to read a Spider-Man comic besides Life Story in years.
I'm glad to hear it.
It is outstanding.
Yeah, I'll read issue 3.
We'll talk more about it later. Yeah.
I'll read issue 3 later tonight. Definitely.
Yeah, it's really enjoying it.
Now, I'll also mention that this is a fill-in, so this is not John Romita Jr. on it. However, it's Patrick Gleason on the artwork, and that's going to be just as good for issue 9.
Hell yeah.
But on the cover, just seeing Romita Jr.
do the because he cut his eye teeth on X-Men back in the 80s. That was part of one of his earlier assignments.
Yep, you better believe it.
So that's cool. And Alex Saviak on the variant cover, another great Spider-Man artist. I remember growing up in the 80s.
Good point.
Who drew Spider-Man.
Hellfire Gala tie-in, by the way, with Amazing Spider-Man #9.
Uh-oh.
And the last issue of the Spider-Punk miniseries on the very next page 32. So that's concluded there. All right, let's get over to Avengers #59. So this concludes that story arc. So even though issue 60 was already solicited earlier on in the book, let's go back to issue 59. And Jason Aaron talks about the legend of Reno Phoenix and the Star Brand Kid.
Well, the Avengers have some great stories for going back to the Bronze Age, where they went back to the Old West. So it's cool to see him pick up that sort of that legacy.
Absolutely, especially with Thor and his busted up Mjolnir there. Page 34. Javier Garrón still sticking in there on the artwork. And the Carol Corps is featured in Avengers Forever #9. on page 35. Yes, yes, yes. And I cannot wait to read issue 1 of the variants. Gail Simone and Phil
Noto. Wow.
Yeah. And Gail Simone returning to Marvel for the first time in a while. Defenders Beyond number 3.
Al Ewing.
Yep.
Javier Rodriguez. Great stuff.
Getting the Phoenix involved. Page 38. And also on that very page, Ant-Man.
Looking forward to this Al Ewing Ant-Man miniseries too.
Absolutely. Certainly looking forward to Genisville.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yep. Family Continues to Matter on page 40. Peter David and Juanan Ramirez. Iron Cat, just, man, even the silly stuff is fun. That's certainly what Jed McKay is bringing forward with Iron Cat number 3 of 5. Miniseries soon to be over. Moon Knight number 14. We get some more Mr. Knight action out of this series. Page 45, Jed McKay. And a Ms. Marvel Moon Knight team up on the very next page. Fist of
Hauser.
Fist of Ms. Marvel.
I haven't watched the new series yet at all. Have you?
I've watched the first 2, and I've enjoyed the first 2.
All right, it's on my list.
It has the spirit of the character down in spades, and I'll just...
Oh, terrific.
Yep. Oh, my God. Look at this.
The shield cover's awesome.
Page 48. How many miles does it take to save a universe? Nightcrawler visits Book Law, but what does he need legal defense for? I don't care. I just want to see them have tea. Oh, man. Rainbow Rowell is a gem. She really is. Great cover there. Oh, my God. Shades of Hal Jordan on page 52. We got some Emerald Twilight.
Iron Man 23.
Oh, my God. Man, I never thought I'd see Alex Ross do a tribute to Emerald Twilight. And yet there we are. Man.
Yep.
Whew. Love it.
Actually, I'm sorry. Go back to that solicitation for a moment, please. Thank you.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Spy Master is a classic Iron Man villain. Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yep. And the Cobalt Man involved.
Murd, the Cobalt Man.
All right, moving a little bit down here. Finally, Alien number 1 gets resolicited. It may not come out. In fact, it's probably not coming out, but, it'll come out eventually. Maybe you'll get to order it at some point. But Philip Kennedy Johnson, Alien number 1, page 55. Well, it looks great. It's not coming out this month. We're moving forward. Okay. So, making our lives difficult, Marvel. You're making our lives difficult.
Actually, it's probably supply chain in China, I'm going to guess.
More than likely, yeah. Yep. Although, yeah.
So let's go ahead.
No, I was just going to say.
Go ahead, Ian. Go ahead.
Because they're not through Diamond anymore. They're through Penguin, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Yes. Let's
look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. This was officially solicited last month. In the preview.
I ordered it last month. Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic Four Full Circle.
God.
Page 62 and 63. It's an entire Alex Ross original graphic novel about the Fantastic Four.
Well, he's revisiting a classic Silver Age story where I believe it's the one where the Fantastic Four go into the negative zone.
Yes.
And of course, their first encounter with Annihilus.
Yep.
So if you go back one page, please.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. Go up. I apologize. Keep going. My bad.
Yes.
Look at that panel. I mean, he's so channeling the Kirby influence there.
So good.
But it's still very much Alex Ross. I cannot wait to get this in my eager mitts.
Immediate Eisner Award, just handed.
Look at that, man. Now let's see how he scripts.
Oh man,
I'm really looking forward to this.
Cannot wait. Yep. Now, whenever they start putting out collections that I wasn't expecting them to put out, it makes me wonder if maybe something's brewing on the movie end in one way or another. But yeah, page 64 reprints House of M. Who knows? They could just be reprinting it, but there's a certain Scarlet Witch that's been doing things. You never know. But yeah, this collects an excellent storyline from the mid 2000s. The No More Mutants storyline, basically, and also how Wolverine got his memories back in the day. So a whole bunch of stuff changed thanks to House of M, and this has it all for you here. Literally all, because it's like everything.
This is a great collection. This is the first Captain Marvel stories.
Mm-hmm.
So you get great stuff from the Silver Age, Roy Thomas, Gil Kane. This is a lot of the basis of like Carol Danvers. A lot of it starts in these stories. So highly recommended.
First 33 issues of the Captain Marvel series, as well as Iron Man 55 and Not Brand Ech number 9, as well as Marvel Superheroes 12 through 13, all in this collection on page 65. And the Byrne Fantastic Four on 56 there, new printing of
great stuff.
Yep.
And look, I'm definitely ordering this because this is one of the books I lost in my flood this past fall.
Oh, nice.
Miller.
Which cover are you gonna go with?
That's tough, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's a classic. The issue 181 classic cover, and then you have that was a poster they did, I think, back in the 80s.
Yep.
The Miller Klaus Jetson. Ian, I can't answer that right now. I have to think on that. I have to ruminate.
I believe the answer is whichever one you can order, and then there you are. 66 on that one, and then Dan Slott's Volume 3 hardcover on 67, collecting 21 through 30 of his Fantastic Four, plus Empire #0 Fantastic Four and Empire Fallout Fantastic Four, all on 67. Let's collect as much Conan the Barbarian as we can before we lose the license. And 68 gives you Roy Thomas, Conan the Barbarian stuff from the original Marvel years of the run.
Great stuff. Yep.
Volume 2 Omnibus, Incredible Hulk by Peter David on page 69 there. Peter David, Tom Field, and more, penciled by Dale Keown. Herb Trimpe, some artwork on there. Kevin McGuire, so many more.
These are all great stories. Oh.
Absolutely. And yes, the rumors are true. Marvel Masterworks Amazing Spider-Man Volume 24. It's black costume time for the Marvel Masterworks. Page 71. Written by DeFalco and Stern. Pencils by Friends and Leonardi and Bob Layton. I want to check out this Strange series eventually. I want to see how Jed MacKay worked with Clea. That's page 7.
So happy they introduced Clea into the movie universe.
Mm-hmm. And Steve Orlando's Spider-Man 2099 Exodus, all collected here for you on 73. I've been hearing great things about this. I'll have to check it out. Jim Rugg's Hulk Grand Design Treasury Edition trade paperback on page 6.
Great cover.
What a cover. Whew. Man. Penciled and written by Jim Rugg here. You get it all in one package. Grand Design Monster and Grand Design Madness. All right. X-Men Red by Al Ewing. Can't forget that. Age 81. This was good stuff. And Al Ewing and Stefano Caselli together as one here, with Juan Cabal and Andres Genolet as well. 5-issue miniseries there on page 81. I think that's just about it, unless anything else catches your eye. Nah, I think
there's a Black Panther thing. You keep going down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Masterwork, maybe.
Yes. Well, that's Marvelverse. Black Panther. But let's see. Here we are.
There it is.
Got it.
This is great because it's collecting from his first appearance and a lot of his, his early silver. Well, for him, his early Silver Age appearances. So these are really good stories. If you're interested in the origin of the Panther in terms of his first appearances, how he was presented, because he appeared in a bunch of different books. He appeared in FF, Tales Suspense, Cap, Daredevil. So a lot of great artists were involved in these stories. You can see by the listings there. So I recommend this if you're interested in getting into some of the early Black Panther.
Yep, absolutely. Get to the heart of the character right there. And also the very last thing that was listed in the book. So onward.
All right.
To the rest of the and it may be a little bit faster than usual for you previous folks out there, as it's just the two of us this time around. But
yep.
I will mention Out of a Blaze on page 216, Red Lightning has caught my eye immediately. Marco B. Bucci and Riccardo Azzini bring us a story taking place on the morning of January 10th, 2016, where 30-year-old Samuel is ready to leave the house and live another day in his ordinary existence. As soon as he arrives on the street, he learns about David Bowie's death. The news strikes him so hard that he's stunned, and his are not moments of bewilderment, but hours, days, years, and centuries. He finds himself catapulted across space and time. He awakens hundreds of thousands of years later in a society of the future, not so different from his own, although he's surrounded by people dressed as dinosaurs, integrated biological technologies, and there's a global well-being. Is it perhaps the utopia of the future? Samuel will have to try and find out. What a concept for a series here.
And a tribute to David Bowie. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. 216 at terrifically simple yet refined artwork on the next couple of pages as well. So yeah, do check out Red Lightning if you were not thinking about doing so. It looks like it's going to be great. And there is that fantastic.
There's Full Circle.
Yep, on page 22. That's the full solicitation for it. This is the graphic novel edition. I think the hardcover was last month. And
that's what I ordered. Yeah, out of the hardcover.
This is the softcover edition, if I'm remembering correctly from previous solicitations. So
it's just hardcover at the bottom there, honey.
Oh, it doesn't really. Okay, all right. Well, then never mind. Just resolicitation.
I think the one I ordered was some kind of more limited edition version. If I remember
that's
correctly.
What it was. You're right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Very, very good point. Yeah, I think yours has like a slipcase to it and all that other.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yep. Simpson's Treehouse of Horror Omnibus.
Murd would love that.
Yep, page 224. Recollecting a whole bunch of the stuff from Bongo Days of Yore, as Bongo no longer exists. So this is Abrams Comics Art putting it out on page 224. And those were some great stories, honestly. They had some excellent Simpsons.
Good. Hold on. Don't run past Terry Moore here.
Oh, of course, by all means.
Parker Girls #1.
Mm-hmm.
So again, one of the many rich characters from the Mooreverse is, of course, the Parker Girls, that cabal of sort of, women who are involved in espionage and sort of influencing governments and sort of world politics, and of course Tambi is at the head of that.
Yeah.
Well, she eventually takes control of it, but I'm really looking forward to him exploring these characters further.
Certainly.
Awesome.
Yep. Page 226 for that. I'll take my moratorium on not mentioning Action Lab stuff for just a moment on page 226 off the table. as offered again, Steve Bryant and Abel Cicero's Athena Voltaire Terror on the Orient Express. So if you have not checked that out, good friend.
Athena Voltaire is always fun. Always fun.
And always have to mention anything Steve Bryant, and that's there for you again on page 226 if you miss it the first time around. Garth Ennis on 228, Jimmy's Little Bastards, and he's teaming with Russ Braun again. Man, it's like going back home.
Yep.
A new generation of bastards is back and bolder than ever in a 3-issue oversized prestige format miniseries from Ennis and Braun. In, baby. 228.
Absolutely.
Yep. Masters of the craft right there. some of the raunchiest artwork and writing that you can possibly find in comics. Here's one that would probably be for Mr. Murdo on page 230.
Samurai Doggy.
Yep. Chris Tex and Santos on the artwork. It's during the Fourth War of the Sun, in which a puppy experienced an irreparable trauma. His mother was brutally murdered, and his 8 brothers, still puppies, were kidnapped by a mysterious man. To save them, Doggy fought bravely against a terrible killer, but all his efforts were in vain, and he was left for dead. What nobody imagined was that a technological vulture scavenging the region for corpses would be the one to rescue the dying dog from death's scythe. Doggy, Samurai Doggy, on page 230. Good samurai action there. All right, we're scrolling down the past couple more stuff to We Live Volume 1, hardcover collection of this. The Miranda brothers and Anaki Miranda on the artwork on 237. This collects all 5 issues of this, as well as the Free Comic Book Day story. I believe we did mention these singles as they were happening, but this collects the full story here, occurring in the year 2084, and the world's changed. Racked by calamities and crawling with monsters, the last remaining humans face a dangerous existence.
So let's pause. If you go to the next one, please.
Yes, indeed.
I'm waiting for the last issue to come out of this, The Lion and the Eagle by Ennis and P.G. Holden, who worked together on the Magnificent String Bags World War II miniseries and also World of Tanks when Ennis did some books. I know it's a video game, but it's Ennis doing straight historically rich World War II stories. This The Lion and the Eagle focuses on one of the lesser known theaters of war in World War II, which is in Burma. Mm-hmm. Between the Japanese, the British, and the colonial Indian soldiers who did much of the fighting for the British Axis theater. Mm-hmm. Once again, I've read what's come out so far. Superb. The attention to historical detail. The artwork is magnificent. Again, just no one does military comics better than Ennis and the people he has working with him. So I'm looking forward to collecting this in trade.
Absolutely. Page 238 for that one, for all 4 of those prestige format issues in one package. All right, down to the smaller solicitations. Big Man Plans, an extended edition. Eric Powell fans, this one's going to be for you. It's first published in 2015. This brutal crime drama and intriguing mystery shocked readers with its visceral violence and heart-wrenching tragedy. And now it's recollected for the first time since 2015. Big Man Plans, an extended edition graphic novel on page 242. Eric Powell always has something fascinating for you. And
yes,
you missed it the first time around. Check it out this time. Scrolling into
that was sexy the way you said that, by the way.
I think
sexy. And
Archie and Friends, Thrills and Chills. Jay Torres on this one. It's Spooky Archie. Spooky. Ooh.
I was waiting for you to do the spooky. Thank you. My faith has been validated.
You're quite welcome. You can tell we're getting close to October in solicitations because there's a lot more spooky stuff happening on. 253. Even though it's only technically going to be August in solicitations, they're already getting ready for Halloween. How about this? Steve Mannion, Fearless Dawn, #1. This is the first printing of this amazing series, where I feel like they may have did a Free Comic Book Day one of this at one point, because I remember,
I'm not familiar with this at all.
Yeah, I remember mentioning it in one form or another, but this is about jet-riding good girl Fearless Dawn, who battles her arch nemesis Helga von Kraus. God, what a good Nazi name! In this miniseries from Steve Mannion, Fearless Dawn, it infiltrates the vaunted Manitoba sector to discover the secret behind Helga's chemically induced Nazi monsters. a side of comics you don't always get to see here, but it's old school superhero Nazi fighting action here.
Oh, right.
Yep. And scantily clad at that from the looks of it. So there you are. Get rid of Avatar here and move on to Peter Milligan. Sacrament number
writer.
1. Yep.
Peter The Milligan. Exorcist meets Alien. Wow.
What a description. In the year 3000, for that matter. Now a disgraced priest called into action to perform an exorcism on a remote space colony is about to discover that no matter how far you run, you can't escape your demons, and the devil is in fact real. Man. All right. Sounds like some spooky shit right there on 266. Scroll down. Ian Grody, Emmett number 1. You have me on the cover here.
Oh, that cover's awesome. Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. Carolina Rodriguez Fuenmayor did the cover for that one on page 270. Meet Lydia Lowe, an artisan potter who goes on a bender after a bad breakup. Then in anguish and anger, she accidentally conjures up a golem from clay in her Bushwick studio. Enter Emmett, a golem with benefits. He mixes a mean cocktail, is handy around the house, and will help Lydia exact revenge with a vengeance.
A golem with benefits. Wow.
A golem with benefits in Bushwick, Brooklyn. So might be for me, but we'll see about that. 270 on that one. Yeah, this sounds like it could be good. Yishuan Lee is the illustrator behind that Ian Grody story as well on 270. Okay. Scrolling past the Endless Lady Death. Let's see here. Caliber Entertainment. H.P. Lovecraft, The Picture in the House. It's an adaptation of some Lovecraft action by Rob Davis and Bruce Gerlach on the artwork. Stephen Jones on the adaptation on 284. So any of you fans of H.P. Lovecraft, this is offered again in case you missed it the last time out of Caliber Entertainment. They've got some Lovecraft action for you, and a bunch more are also solicited on 285 of previous stuff. But look at the sparks of chaos on the very next page. Epic journey begins. A century ago, the ancient demigods were hunted down and forgotten by humanity. Now they're fighting back in a steampunk twist on ancient myths. Steampunk god action.
Twist.
Timur Shelm and Alexander Meshev and Gleb Melnikov on the artwork and writing chores there out of who's the actual publisher on that? Is that still I guess it must still be Caliber. But yeah, page 286. And then of course on the other side there, Bone 20th Anniversary 1-volume color edition for any of you Bone
except
fans.
No substitutes.
Yes. Specifically
Go ahead, Ian. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, specifically, any of you who wanted in a slipcase, nice and pretty on your shelf.
And I have this edition. It's beautiful. But I'll just to repeat, anybody out there who wants to, like, let's say you're a parent and you want to try to get your kid to read, because, a lot of kids don't.
Yeah.
I don't mean their phones. I mean actual books. Give them this. I've yet to see it fail. Yep. As both a parent and as a retailer, it's just gold.
Too true. Yep. 287, Crunch, a graphic novel from Kayla Miller. New York Times best-selling author, illustrator of Click, Camp, Act, and Clash, returns with a new Olive story in Crunch. Nice all-ages graphic novel there, and clearly these sell, because you don't become a New York Times best-selling author out of nowhere.
No.
So, yeah, Kayla Miller doing a great job there. Got a new one there with Crunch on 287. Look at this one here. Tom the Dancing Bug. I wonder where they got the Almighty Comics by Ruben Bowling on 288. Love it. This 289 looks up your alley, actually. 50. It's a breathtaking detective thriller that keeps you guessing until the end.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Remy Guerin and Alexis Centenac witness true evil. Special unit of the FBI has the mission of cataloging, classifying, and tracking down the worst serial killers in the country. But some don't fit the profile and have proven to be elusive. These are 50 of those killers tagged as suspect zeros. Huh. Interesting premise.
The most formidable of all, codename Schrodinger's cat, decides to challenge the FBI by tracking down the other 49.
Man.
Okay. Interesting.
Sounds like an NBC series waiting to happen, actually. Like, but this is this sounds great. Yep. 289 on that one. 128 pages of full color hardcover action. Fan solicitation for September 20th on that one. Dial Books on page 292. Brad Meltzer and Chris Iliopoulos. I Am Batman and I Am Superman. For your kids, you can't get better than that.
Nope. Iliopoulos.
And Meltzer for that matter. You know, they've been working together on a bunch of stuff, and now they're actually tackling superhero stuff for young kids. And this is an illustrated book that will certainly wet that whistle for you right there. 292. All right, let's scroll down past Dynamic Forces. Ride On, another all ages book here on 305.
I'm always thrilled when I see all ages stuff. It's great.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This one looks pretty cool. It's Faith Eric Hicks, all about 12-year-old Victoria, who thought she wanted all she wanted in life was to ride, train, and study horses. But after all the pressure from competitions and a falling out with her best friend Taylor, Victoria takes a step back from everything. She starts attending Edgewood Stables, a smaller riding facility with the goal to renew her love for horses. But of course, things could never be simple. At Edgewood Stables, she's faced with the challenge of schooling a new horse named Quinn. I'm sure things go swimmingly there and everything goes 100% as planned. But in the end, I'm sure she's going to fall in love with Quinn as a horse and not want to go back, or maybe bring Quinn to that next level. But you'll just have to read the book to find out. Right On, Faith Erin Hicks on 305. Awaiting getting to IDW. We can check out some of their stuff. We're not too far from there. But before we do get there, let's see what Heavy Metal has for us this month. Every month, Heavy Metal puts out some stuff that I didn't know existed. I know we mentioned Entropy last month out of that
Christopher Priest. Yep. So thanks to Murray pointing that out.
Second issue of that is
I'll give a field report on that for sure.
Excellent. On page 313. But also a graphic novel by Marco Turini on that very same page. All about when the surface of Earth became uninhabitable and humans had to find refuge in the bowels of the planet. In Janus, capital of the fourth and last underground level, survival involves repairing bodies with electronic components. This is where EVA, or Ava, lives, and she plans to break the law to cross the levels that separate her from the sun. Very anime-inspired premise here on 313. Kind of Battle Angel Alita, I'm thinking. Which was a great movie, by the way, the Alita movie that came out.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, not a lot of people have seen it, but it's well worth your time. What is this here? John Ellis with Fraternity from Humanoids. Wyatt's roommate has been acting strange ever since he joined that frat. Gee, I wonder if the frat is evil. I bet you the frat's evil. For fans of Blumhouse and A24 horror movies, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, yeah, something's wrong with that frat. 316 Fraternity. And then on 319, Tiki, A Very Rough Year. It's about Fred buys Tiki a puppy to help bring the little joy to his family's life in isolation. What no one anticipated is that Tiki would turn their lives completely upside down. Cute dog story. Enough said. 319. And also very weird. Very Blondie inspired artwork, I'd say.
Mm.
All right. Here we are in IDW finally. Still getting used to them being in the back of the book.
Yeah, it's jarring.
I know. 327, Star Trek The Mirror War #8, another
which has been excellent. Excellent series.
And another gorgeous J.K. Woodward cover to please us on that one. But then how about...
And also we have a Picard Stargazer #1.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Embark on a never-before-seen journey set between season 2 and 3 of the Paramount Plus hit series. So we'll get a little further in there to see where we're going. But how about underneath that?
Yeah, I wanted to point out that they're doing a series of one-shots on different aliens, and I just read they just did one on the Ferengi featuring Quark and his brother Rom, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone who loves Deep Space Nine will appreciate those characters.
Yep.
And this book written by Jody Hauser is focusing on the Trill.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah. Always been fascinated by the Trill as a species.
Yep.
So we'll learn a little bit more about them on 327 there. All right, we're already past IDW. Let's see what else the book has to offer. All right. Let's see. Okay, action journalism. They had me at action and journalism. Brand new series on page 344. Eric Skillman and Milkos Felvidecki on the illustrations. As a sinister alien armada looms over the Earth, New Arcadia's favorite intrepid reporter, Kate Kelly, has just 2 hours to infiltrate the fleet, uncover the most scandalous secrets, land the interview of the century, and avert interstellar war, and not necessarily in that order. The truth shall set you free, or get you in a whole lot of pickles. Man, yeah, this sounds really cool. Especially if a fan of journalism, like this is combining sci-fi with journalism. I get Transmet vibes. 340.
Transmet was so fun.
Yep, you got it. And Christopher Sabella's Blink, it gets a second issue on page 345, if you're paying attention to that. But how about written, illustrated, and cover by Chris Samnee? And also written by
Chris Samnee.
Yep. Jana and the Impossible Monsters continues its run here. I'll have to check out some back issues of that, because totally missed that. And 346 has issue 11. So I'm sure there's got to be a collection out there somewhere. Happy 25th anniversary to Oni, by the way.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Anybody who's fans of the band Evanescence, there's a comic for you on page 352. Haven't thought of them in a while. Carrie Lee South on the writing, Kelly McKernan on the artwork. Features adaptations of the band's musical catalog and short stories created by an all-star cast of artists, animators, illustrators, fine artists, screenwriters, novelists, and more. So, yeah, checking the back catalog of Evanescence. Of course, I found them at first in the Daredevil movie. That was the first time I ever heard Evanescence on TV2. That brings me back. Let's head back to the playground with Elektra and Daredevil, shall we?
The seesaw courting.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Good times. 45 years of 2000 AD, the best of Jerry Finley Day on page 361. If you ever wanted to know more about one of the most prominent and prevalent producers of comics over on British Way, then this is the way to do so. Yeah, this has like a little bit of everything, and goes into the back catalog of 2000 AD as they hit their 45th year, with Jerry Finley Day's stuff here. Got some.
I'm sure Dr. Clark would recommend this volume.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Everything begins with it, after all. Dan Dare, Harry 20 on the High Rock, and a couple other stuff in there for you as well. How about The Concrete World? Looks very Ghost in a Shell. In a dark future, Felix, Polly, and Sarah form an unlikely friendship brought together by their addiction to the illegal virtual reality technology known as Dream Tech. Oh, okay, so we're going on a virtual reality bend here. Gavin High-Knight and Jatilla Lewis and James Emmett on the creation there for The Concrete World out of Rebel Sidekick Studios, 362. And if I can't find anything beforehand, I think I'm going straight down to our friends at Tomorrow.
Yes.
But let's see if anything pops our eyes before then. I think we're probably good. So let's keep scrolling here. Let's see what we got. Well, you know what? I will mention this in passing. Sherlock: A Scandal in Belgravia Part 2. The manga adaptation of Sherlock. And Stephen Moffat is the writer on this, and Mark Gatiss also wrote it with Jay on the art chores. This is the second part of a manga adaptation of the fourth Sherlock BBC episode. I remember when I was in Japan, for my 30th, I saw one of these volumes of Sherlock on the shelf, and it was supposed to come here not too far after, and then got held up in like weird rights issues, and then finally Titan get it here adapted, in English, and on our shores. And this now collects the fourth of those Sherlock episodes in manga format on 3D6.
God, the Irene Adler episode was incredible. Ugh.
Agreed all the way. Yep.
Yeah.
And 35 years of Tank Girl. Wow. Alan Martin and Brett Parson give us
35.
Yep. King Tank Girl here for you in trade paperback to celebrate that 35th anniversary. Man, time flies. Box set too of everything on 388 to celebrate that as well. Wow.
Go to page 394. Would you go to page 394, actually, sir?
I am there, sir.
So this is interesting. Black Panther, Panther's Rage, which is from the classic Don McGregor, Billy Graham, Jungle Action Stories of the Bronze Age. So they're doing a reimagining of it by author Cherie Renee Thomas. I'm assuming it's a prose story, I'm guessing.
I would guess, yeah.
Yeah, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Panther's Rage is a classic. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Alter Ego, so issue 178 from Tomorrow's, our friends at Tomorrow's.
Yep.
We have they're focusing on Golden Age great Emil Gershwin, who was a Starman artist. So Shane, that's for you there, honey. And if you scroll into Retrofan magazine number 23.
Yes, indeed.
We haven't mentioned this magazine lately, but they're focusing on, again for Shane, the Flash Gordon cartoon, which I remember from the 1980s. That sounds really interesting. Oh, they're focusing on The Prisoner, if I'm looking at the cover correctly.
Yep.
From the 60s. I haven't looked at Retrofan lately. Whenever I do, it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, so see here, the Beatles, Yellow Submarine, Flash Gordon cartoons, as you mentioned, TV cult classics, The Prisoner, and kids show Zoom, color forms, M&Ms, and more fun. Yeah, that's a trip down memory lane right there, to say the least. Yep, good stuff. And comic book creator number 27.
I talked about this last comic talk, the Paul Galassi issue. Fantastic tribute to that great artist, Shang-Chi.
Resolicited here if you did not get a chance to check it out. So $3.96. On that very same page, spotlight on British Mania. Britmania, that is, the British invasion of the 60s in pop culture. This is a reference book, so any of you looking to know a little bit more about the British invasion, check it out on $3.96. Mark Voger wrote this, and it's drawn by a whole bunch of different people in there, all about a very, very key time in rock and roll. All right. Anything before manga, sir?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Then in that case, I will manga.
Have your manga moment.
All right. Scroll it down a little bit further here until I get to that Mob Psycho ad. Oh, wow. How about that? In a change unheard of for the manga section, there is no Mob Psycho ad. I don't even know what book I'm reading anymore. This is crazy. You change IDW, you get rid of the same Mob Psycho ad that's been in here for the I don't know what I'm reading anymore. All right. Well,
I love when you get indignant.
Let me check out. I will say, any of you fans of Bleach, the anime, the Bleach 20th anniversary edition of the manga is available on page 428, and collects a whole bunch of the manga in one volume. Bleach is a seminal series. It's about a whole bunch of like soul reapers who are trying to catch lost souls and send them to their rightful resting place. That series has gone through a whole bunch of different changes over the years. Started off more horror, then wound up becoming almost like a Dragon Ball Z-esque series over time, with more action involved there, as often is the case with certain anime as they keep rolling. But this is the beginning here, and it's some of the best stuff of Bleach. So page 428, volume 1 of the 20th anniversary edition of Bleach, available for you.
All right.
Okay. Look for a few. There it is. It was hiding. Man, they got me. They completely got me. All right. Thank you, Mob Psycho. Never forget you. All right. Let's move a little bit further on here and find at least one or two more first volumes that I can call out, and then we will call it a day. Wonder if there's any Star Wars stuff, because that would be for Mr. Shane. But
yes.
While I wait for that, on page 446, Fire Force Omnibus, Volume 1. In the year 198 of the Age of the Sun, Tokyo is a crowded cosmopolis, but the world's most populous city is threatened by devils that cause people to burst into flame at random. The only ones who can stop it are the Pyro Fighters, a team of specialized firefighters. This is the most Japanese concept. I'm totally in for it. Fire Force Omnibus. This collects the first 3 volumes of Fire Force, all in one collection on page 446. If you want something extra special for you, they've got it for you there. And looking for one more, and then I'll call it a day. May elude me, honestly. I'm not looking at anything that really catches my eye this time around. I think I'm going to straight up call it.
He's called it, folks.
I think we got a bolt shot. Yep, that's it. Unless you got some random.
I looked through it, but I didn't see nothing jumped out at me in the random section.
Okay, fair enough. Then yeah, we got a bolt shot, and the duo pulled it out. So job well done, sir. And I think we got plenty of good selections here, even for a 2-man.
We sure did. And just to remind everybody, remember your Marvel books are not going to be available for order yet.
That is very true. Please try to buy Marvel books. They may or may not actually be available. You're going to have to find that out on your own, because we don't run a comic shop and we can't tell you that unless you try. So supply chain, baby. Supply chain. Well, either way, we thank you as always for
Oh, yes.
being with us on this one. And we're sponsored by you, the listeners, over at patreon.com/Comic Geek Speak. And without your continued support of the show, we would be absolutely lost. And we thank you for continuing to support us in any way you can. You are all the best. And wow, I am so rusty on this. I have not had to be in the Shane spot.
Oh God, that's right.
In quite some time. So let me try to pull this all out of my ass here and try to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. So here we go. All right, let me get
you some Cottonelle. My God.
Here we go. All right. If you'd like to send us an email, you could do so at comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. You can send us a voicemail. That number is 267-702-6642. You can like us on Facebook, or you can check us out at the Comic Geek Speak Supergroup. Just search Comic Geek Speak Supergroup, and we will be happy to have you join the group. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Comic Geek Speak. Send in your Muddled the Merge submissions. We are still a little bit low on Muddled the Merge submissions. We did have a couple of others come in, so feel free to join the queue, and we will get to you whenever you can. And of course, continue to spread the word about the show however you can. Thank you so much for donating to the show. We would not be able to do it without you. And as always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time. Two-man crew, mission accomplished.
Yes.